Life can sometimes feel like a battlefield, and in order to win, you need the right armor. So we turn to a highly decorated 21-year military veteran to share with us how she did it and how she can help us do it too.
That's right. In her new book, From the Battlefield to the Boardroom, Dr. Sonja Stribling sharing her story of being a teenage mom, a rape survivor, and a painful divorce to becoming a life coach and an empowerment expert. And Dr. Sonja is joining us this morning with more on how to embrace resilience when you are faced with setbacks in life. Great to have you here this morning.
Thank you so much for having me.
And such an important conversation. Your life literally a battlefield.
Yes.
Not only in the military, but in all aspects of the life that you have lived. At one point, you actually left for dead. Talk to us a bit about what kept you motivated to then turn this into a positive for everybody else.
Thank you for asking that. So many people ask that question, but it was more of thinking about, I had children. Like I had a child at such a very young age, and just thinking about, I did not want to leave him motherless. And so just keeping that in mind, that I have another person depending on me. And just really looking at why was I here on this earth and how to turn that around. And so many people go through so many tragedies themselves and have things that happen in their life. But the only thing I thought about, one, was him, and two, who else can I teach? Now I think about it, who else can I teach along the way from my life lessons?
Yeah.
How did you get into the military and build your career there?
Oh, wow. I'm the youngest of 12 children from Arkansas, and I didn't realize, because they're so much older than me, my oldest sibling is 82 years old.
Wow.
And didn't know that 8 out of the 12 were in the military.
Oh, wow.
Because they were so much older. And that's how I ended up. I think it was already there. I just didn't know it was planted in me. You always saw the signs of be all you can be, the old Army stickers.
Yeah.
And so I had to figure out what I wanted to do. And I know I didn't want to stay in my hometown to work at a factory. Nothing wrong with that. But I knew I wanted more. So I decided to, once I finished college, I went off to the military and served my country for 21 long years.
Yeah. And some people go just for a few, right? So what made you stay for 21?
Well, it wasn't a plan at the beginning for me to stay 21, of course. It was just, let me go and get away from home. Let me see how I like it. And I actually enjoyed it more than I thought I would. The leadership skills that they taught me, survival techniques, and really how to, I would say, rise to the occasion. And one of the things that they did teach me, you don't quit until the mission is complete. And that's really where the book came into play. It's going back, looking over those years of what they trained me and what took place in my life.
But you also struggled with some mental health issues, clinical depression, PTSD. Was that from the military, or was that from?
I would say both,
Okay.
Ken. If you were, for me, it was two different perspectives. There's one from the life journey and the trauma that I went through, that so many people go through, and then I had the military, 21 years, 3 combat tours. I was in Iraq. I remember seeing some things and reporting, our missing in action, our KIA, because I was a battle captain then. And so all of that to come to a place where I was dealing with post-traumatic stress disorder and PTSD, TBI, and all of that. And then I start looking at, like, how do I come out of this? And that was a scary point. So I went through about 3 years after a divorce, dealing with all of that and just trying to figure out who I was. And at a point where I really wanted to take my own life.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. You had your son early on, and then you served in the military after, right?
Yes.
As a mom.
Yes.
What was that like?
15 years old, giving birth to a child. So I was a child raising a child. And thank goodness for my mother that's being there. Even though she was pretty much raised me by herself, she was there to really help me. And so a child having a child, being in the wrong place at the wrong time. So how was it? I wouldn't change any of it. If you were to ask, what would you change about your life? Absolutely nothing. It really gave me the opportunity to step into these, I would say, in these powerful shoes to help other women and other people around the world overcome their battlefield, which is a place where we dealt with different things in our life, but coming into what we say the boardroom is where you decide where your level of success is.
Yeah, and part of that comes from what you describe as 4 pillars.
Yes.
To uphold.
Yes.
So what are those pillars?
I would say financial stability, right? And there's emotional stability, there's physical stability, and spiritual stability. And we still call those pillars, but if you were to ask me which one is more important than the other, I would say the emotional part. The emotional stability is, how do you handle pressure? How do you begin to live the life that you deserve and you desire, and to really have a fulfilled life? Or if you decide you want to be in business or be an entrepreneur, just really going through those things and making a decision, not just a commitment, but a decision that you want better for your life.
Yeah.
There are so many people who are struggling right now. to get one of those four, to be stable in one of those four,
Yes.
is an achievement in itself.
Yeah.
Is it baby steps? What's the first step for people who want to get
It
there?
was just really identify where you are right now. You know, if you went to a mall right now, which we love, well, at least I do. If you went to a mall, you go to the map and it'll say you are here. It identifies where you are, and you have to decide where you want to go or where you want to go, which store you want to shop in. And that's the same thing we should do with our lives, because a lot of times we're not just looking for that next level, but we have to identify where we are. And then the second thing, I would really get into a place in a space where you would get the support that you need. Professional support, especially if you're dealing with your mental health right now, getting the professional, a therapist if that is needed, and it's okay to do that.
Yeah, well, my whole thing, and I say it all the time, is to normalize that, right?
Yes.
Because some people feel like there's a stigma and a shame around creating that support system, whether it be therapy or not.
Yes.
There's a stigma around it, so it's acknowledging it,
Yeah.
being able to talk about it, but for you, what if it's not therapy? Like, what is your advice for this? What does that support system look like if it's not therapy? Because some people can't even afford it.
Yes, this is true. One, where is that friend that you trust?
Yeah.
Not the one you can share some things with and they may tell everyone else, but where's that one person? It may be family if you can trust them. What I've seen a lot of people step into their spiritual journey and they go on that journey in itself, which is great, but there also needs to be some accountability.
Yeah.
So where's that friend that is going to be, you're going to be accountable to, that is going to hold your feet to the fire because you said you wanted to be better and you said you wanted to do that. So if it's not therapy, at least find someone you can confide in, because it's no good to do this alone. I tried it. It doesn't work very well.
Right. Got to start somewhere.
You're
Absolutely.
inspirational.
Thank
Yeah.
I'm so impressed
Thank
with
you.
how you came out on top, and I bet your son,
Yes.
it thanks God for you every day.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
my 3 sons actually, and I
Ooh.
have a bonus son. So, yeah, I have 3 young men in my life and a bonus son. I'm on my encore marriage, which is amazing in itself. And it really gave me the opportunity to really figure out what my boardroom is. And my boardroom was
Yeah.
really starting a business where I would help other women around the world do the same, having a fulfilled life and a booming business.
Congratulations to you on all your
Thank
success.
you so much.
Dr. Sonja Stribling, thank you for joining us this
Thank
morning.
you for having me.
From the battlefield to the boardroom, available wherever books are sold. Get yourself a copy, all right?